Honestly, guys, I'm actually not even concerned about the defense today. I know that was the shambolic part of the entire match. I'm not concerned about our defense because that's not how we defend. That was a freak show. I'm more concerned about how we don't have any potency up front. We don't create enough. That's, for me, is far more concerning.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. A complete capitulation of Chelsea from Brentford. Absolute battering, destroyed, disaster class, whatever you want to call it. I suppose Brentford somewhat deserved it because we kind of stole 3 points off them earlier this season in the Premier League. We played them, I believe, in the Carabao Cup, and that was a good game. We had a good game, but this one, you know what? I'll be honest. I can't even sit here and say Brentford absolutely outplayed us or outthought us, or yeah, their energy and their pressing was a lot better. They knew when to hurt us. And and I'll explain to you why in the demonstration. The goals that they scored, there was probably one goal that where they made a complete, you know, that's where they deserved it. The other three, it was a complete mess from us. You look at the first half, they came off the blocks for the first 15 minutes amazingly. Came out of the blocks with on fire. After that, we kind of controlled the match. Yeah, we didn't create much, but we controlled the match. They didn't have enough any more threat. In the first half, the first 15 minutes, they pressed, counter pressed well. They were high up the field, created a couple of chances, made Mendy save one. After that, it was calm. But it's not like we did anything with the ball. We just controlled the ball, but we weren't potent. We weren't threatening. There was just a one chance from Hakim Ziyech. We took the shot, great save from the goalkeeper. Second half, we come out of the blocks on fire, much like they did in the first half. We come out this time on fire. And once again, it wasn't as if we were creating anything. We showed a lot more intent. We showed a lot more energy. We pressed well. Try to win the ball up front. But once again, it's not like we created anything. And the goal that we got was a screamer from Rudiger. And you know what? Before I even finished celebrating that goal, they equalized. And just on that goal, I mean, that goal was coming from Rudiger, wasn't it? We were expecting. The way he keeps on taking these long shots, we knew one of these days he was going to get it. But to get it on the day where we got battered just puts a sour taste on. But what a hit, though. What a hit. And what a celebration running up to Thomas Tuchel and giving him a hug. I hope we can sort out the contract situation for him. But now let's talk about the goals. Let's zero in the goals. The way they equalized, this is what I saw. I'm just going to move all these players away a little bit because I want to focus on Alonso, Silva, Rudiger, and Azpilicueta. There was a ball that came in long and it fell in between Thiago Silva and Alonso. Thiago Silva didn't win the header, and I think it was chested by, might have been Mbuemo. I can't remember who it was, but it was chested by one of the Brentford players. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek in this position wasn't quick enough to get that second ball. He was literally just ball watching, and he was slow to it. Brentford player picks up the ball and immediately passes it to Mbuemo, who then was sort of in this area. So all of a sudden, what happened was Thiago Silva was taken out of position. And then you had a situation where Aspi and Rudy were in sort of this position. So it was 2v2 because Emma came into these sort of locations. Silva was sort of left out because he missed the header, the second ball. Robin Loftus-Cheek wasn't there, and then from there the madness created. Yeah, Silva could have recovered better, but he, one of those off days that I said, these sort of freak situation never happens to us. Once a season, last season, obviously West Brom vibes. But as soon as it was 2v2, Rudiger and Aspie, Mendy over here, it wasn't as if you could see 100% a goal was coming. It was a bit of a madness from that Veneld, or whoever, what's that player's name who scored for Brentford? Janelt. So Janelt picked up the ball from this area outside of the box, and he absolutely rifled off a shot, and it was a goal. It was a lethal shot. I don't know whether Mendy could have done a bit more, but it was a lethal shot outside of the box with his left foot. Classic finish. But the mistakes kind of happened around here. That's where all the issues started. But even then, when he was in this situation, Janelle, I didn't expect him to bang in a goal from there. But classic finish. But the issue started from here. Then, their second goal, Christian Eriksen one. I mean, what a story for Christian Eriksen as well. It was off a corner. We had all these players up over here for a corner. The ball was getting pinged around. Everyone was over here except for three players. Except for three players. The other players that were joining in. It was Ziyech, Kante, Alonso. Now, Ziyech, through all the chaos that was happening in the box, there was a clearance and it came to him and he got dispossessed by Mbeumo. Once he got dispossessed by Mbeumo, it was mad the way we defended. Kante was tracking the man. Alonso was just behind. Ziyech was trying his best to. Mbeumo was somewhere here. For some reason, Christian Eriksen, everyone could see that he was making the run into the box. There was no communication. Kante went towards Mbeumo. Alonso also went towards Mbeumo. And Ziyech was already near Mbeumo anyway. Why didn't someone communicate and say, okay, Kante, I'm going this way. Alonso, you track Eriksen so that when the ball comes in, you're there to at least make an interception. There was no communication. Or if it was Kante, then Kante stay with Eriksen, and then Alonso comes in to try and stop that situation, and then Ziyech tracks Mbeumo. There was no communication. Literally, this is how it all turned out to be. And a ball was squared in, and Eriksen, party days. Party times here, free, and it was a goal. Third goal, fine. Third goal, they did open us up. It was sort of a defense in that manner, and then they put the ball through the defense. And that made me feel like, oh my God, a lot of people are going to say we can't play in a back four. That's not the case. We've played in a back four this season, and we've looked a lot tighter than that. And then the final one, there was a madness from Rudiger. First of all, Mason Mount getting absolutely eaten in the box, and then the second ball falls into the box, and there was chaos, and Rudiger with abysmal defending. His clearance, he didn't even connect with the ball, and then fourth goal. So for me, ladies and gentlemen, that was a freak show for me in terms of defense. That's not how we defend. We're a far better team than that. For me, the issue was in attack. The more concerning part that against the Brentford team, I swear I can only remember two quality chances. Yeah, there was another header from Havertz. See, there was a disallowed goal. But one chance from Hakim Ziyech in the first half, but it was well saved by the keeper. And the second half, when Kovacic came on, slipped that ball through for Havertz. He should have finished that. But besides that, there was nothing else. That team that we put out. Look, let's now talk about the team selection and Thomas Tuchel. In my preview, if you guys had seen my preview, my team was Mendy, Christensen, Silva, Rudiger, Reece James, Alonso, Kovacic, Kante, Mount, Ziyech, Havertz. Because Pulisic is injured, Callum Hudson-Odoi is injured, and I didn't want to play Timo Werner. And I thought, as much as I don't like Alonso, but at least he can play as a left wing back somewhat. And this game just showed how pathetic Timo Werner was. That left side was just very poor. The match shouldn't even have gotten to that stage of where we were leading 1-0 in this. We should have looked at taking the advantage from the get-go in the first half. But how are we going to do that? We don't have an attacking identity. We don't have an attacking identity. So passive. Our passes are so passive, sideways. We don't look for the threaded passes through the middle. That's why I wanted Kovacic, and this is why. Look, even when the lineup came up and the way we set up, I thought, you know what? Thomas Tuchel's done this. Fine. We always back Thomas Tuchel. And I still thought that was strong enough to beat Brentford. It was still strong enough to beat Brentford, but never in my wildest imagination I would have started Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ruben Loftus-Cheek had some good moments in the first half, but in the second half it was abysmal. Completely torn apart. The thing about Ruben Loftus-Cheek in that position in midfield, he doesn't seem to look to pick up the ball at times, turn and run and drive at the defenders. Is it because he's playing as the deepest midfielder? He just wants to do what Jorginho does? You don't have that characteristic, my man. Look at as soon as Kovacic came in, he was breaking through defense, breaking their press. And he should have had an assist for Kai Havertz. Timo Werner, playing Timo Werner. We should have just gone with Havertz, Mount, and Ziyech with a back three. Why all of a sudden the back four? Is it because you thought, okay, they're playing with a back five and a back four may be best to combat them? And you said, Thomas Tuchel said he selected Ruben Loftus-Cheek because of his physicality and his height. Nor his physicality or his height was a factor. Timo Werner was, everything he did was so poor. Everything. Nothing was right. Alonso in a back four. Shambles again. At least in a back three, fine, you can play him as a wing back. He understands that role somewhat. He's still got the deficiencies. So for me, even though when I saw the lineup, I was like, okay, it's still good enough to win. But looking back, that's not how we should have played against Brentford. And that's not how I had in my preview either. So, look, Thomas Tuchel needs to take some blame. But at the same time, I can't completely blame him because that team still was good enough to beat Brentford. Our issue is, what is our attacking philosophy? And as I said, I don't even think Brentford had some massacres. They defended well and they countered at the right time and they attacked the players that were weak in terms of physicality. Besides one of their goals, the three others was complete shambolic defending from us. They play like that again with us. I kid you not. I don't think they have that same sort of effect on us. I know early in the season they had a very good game against us and we got away with it, but we also had a good game against them in the Carabao Cup. So for me, big question marks, ladies and gentlemen, in attack. I don't want to dwell too much about this particular match because this was a strange result for me because we don't defend like that. We don't. Was this result somewhat coming? Maybe it was because we've been squeezing out some jammy wins lately through Kai Havertz. We have to find a solution up front. We need to be able to capitalize. That game against Brentford in the first half should not be nil-nil at home. We should be 1-0, 2-0 up. Take the game to them. Thomas Tuchel, we stopped defending and gave 3 goals away in 10 minutes. It was very untypical from us, and I don't know why. Same. Tuchel on 4-1 loss to Brentford. It's on us. It's our fault. We selected this team because we thought it was the best team for Brentford. We didn't have half an eye or 1% an eye on Real Madrid. Strong West Bromwich vibes to that Chelsea game and performance by Christian Eriksen and Brentford. What a story. 100% what a story. Christian Eriksen scores against us. PYS, Chelsea fans, please don't give rival fans a reaction over saying we got exposed playing 4 at the back. We've played it multiple times this season, and anyone who actually watches Chelsea knows our 3-5 back isn't even defensive. It was just an awful game today. It is what it is. That's how I feel, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly. If anyone was to say, oh, that's Chelsea Football Club, that's how they defend. That's not how we defend. I've seen us even defend with 4 at the back when we don't defend like that. That was mad. That was a mad thing. Seriously. My concern is where are the goals coming from? Where are the goals coming from? Brentford beating us 4-1 is of course embarrassing, but these type of freak results can happen once or twice a season. Tuchel got it wrong with the lineup and timing of subs. Move on and make sure it doesn't happen again. I mean, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure our players will wake up from it. We don't generally back this performance with another shambolic performance. Real Madrid up next, ladies and gentlemen, not taking this game lightly at all. I'm hoping we go back to our basics, go back to our strong team, back 3, wing backs, what we know, inside forwards, false 9 up front, press from the front, create chaos, and get whatever goals we can get. My team, honestly, Mendy, Christensen, Rudiger, Silva, Rudiger, Reece James, need Reece James. So we need some impetus from the right side. I don't think Aspie was giving us that impetus against Brentford. Alonso, because who else? Who else? You can say Saul, you can say... But these guys, Saul and Saul, they're not wing backs, man. At least you know Alonso can probably do some madness up front. Yeah, there's a lot of deficiencies, but we're stuck in the mud with that one. In the midfield, double pivot, I'd go with either Kovacic or Jorginho, Kante or Jorginho. I think Jorginho still needs to be around in terms of just recycling possession, and then you have someone like Kante or Kovacic to really break up the midfield, much like what we did against Real Madrid last season. And then you have Mason Mount, Pulisic, Kai Havertz. Mason Mount, Pulisic, Kai Havertz, at least they have some sort of a chemistry together. As much as I love Ziyech, you guys know I love Ziyech, but I'd rather have him come off the bench in that particular match. Ziyech in a back 3, playing as an inside forward, it's not his thing. Even Mason Mount as an inside, not his thing, but at least he'll press from the beginning and he can help out in midfield. Pulisic and Havertz. That 3, Pulisic, Havertz, Mount, they've got something going on. Let's continue with that. But we need to wake up. We need to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. That was maybe timely, just before Real Madrid and just before start of this end phase. So maybe it's a good wake-up call for us to make sure that it ain't going to cut it. It ain't going to cut it that way. But I'm not worried about the defense. I'm pretty sure we're going to come back in terms of defense. I'm more worried about our attack. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you felt about this particular match. All the different points we touched on. I'd like to hear what you have to say. If you've enjoyed this, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care and see you.